Good morning, everybody, and welcome into the locker room with Billy Schweim, Pete Thompson, 97.3 ESPN. It's a Sunday morning. It's an Eagles Sunday. And PT, man, are you in a three-point stand?
I'm in a stance. It's not a three-point stance. I'm on a two-leg stance.
You're all
is what I'm
cleaned
on.
up. You got a nice clean shave.
I thought I would try to come in a better
What's
mood.
left of it?
I thought I would try to come in a better mood. I was a little mean to you last week. I fully admit that.
Yeah, you got
I was a little salty. Well, I didn't get enough
on the wrong
sleep.
side of the bed last week.
Well, it was a side. I have an app that tells me that I got 7 hours, 7.2 hours of sleep last night. I feel like I could run.
You ready for new calisthenics?
I could do the Broad Street run right now. You know what I could do? I could kick your ass in golf.
Hey, guess what? We are on.
I hope we're on because
we are on.
I got a text message yesterday from my guy, Aaron Beta, who runs the Golf Specific Fitness. And he says, there's some guy on the radio talking about how he's going to kick your ass in golf. I said, what?
I said I was going to beat you by 5 strokes.
Oh, he is not too pleased about that. So
I heard you went out. You went out again last week and you shot a 111.
Yeah, because I told you that I shot a 111 because I'm telling you I need strokes.
Was that you're not getting any strokes? It's straight up play.
It was one of those deals.
I haven't golfed since like the first week of July, I think.
Great. I hope the pressure is too much for you and you shoot a 135.
Nah, I got ice water running through these veins.
My rear end, you do. Yeah, no, we had a nice time. I played on Monday. It was just this past Monday, as a matter of fact, and we didn't tee off till 3:30. So it was one of those like beat the sunset, but it was really cool because it felt like it was our own personal golf course. It was just us and the deer out there. I mean, there really wasn't anybody out.
So we have our date set on October 30th. We're going to be broadcasted live.
That's Mischief Night.
Mischief Night. The Great Bay Country Club will be broadcasted live from 10 a.m. to 12 noon. We got 8 golfers going out. You're going to be with Scott McKay. I'll be with Tommy Green. Tom Jackson will be with Brian Prop.
Call Tom Jackson and Sons for golfing. They're number one.
And then we got a couple more people that we're trying to line up.
We're efforting. That's a radio term. We're efforting a few more.
So. All right. So we're going to have
so let me get this straight
Ron
again.
Hang on.
Saturday the 30th. Saturday, October 30th. The show is there. Now, how does this work? Like, we're
going to broadcast
You're
live.
doing the show from 10 till 12.
And then we're going to tee off.
And then literally, like, what?
Tee off at 12:45.
We're not going to eat any food? A little ganache?
Well, I thought it was going to be afterwards.
You going to hit any range balls?
Well, Radio Ron Ralston's going to take care of it.
Do you normally hit range balls?
No, I don't. I go in there cold.
You're a trunk to tea kind of guy yourself.
I might play next week just to warm up for you.
Will there be a breakfast ball or, in our case, a lunch ball? This is important to negotiate now.
No, Radio Ron said he'll take care of everything. That's all he said.
Do you even understand what I'm asking you?
What's a lunch bowl?
A lunch ball, a breakfast ball. Do you play golf?
Yeah.
It means, are you going to give me a damn mulligan off the first tee if I snap hook it into the wrong?
I'll give you a mulligan.
All right. So then we each get one mulligan on the first tee.
Yeah,
first tee only.
See, Pete, that you just used the terminology that I'm not even familiar with. That's
breakfast ball?
Yeah, that's why you shouldn't even get a stroke.
Just because I know how to BS about the game doesn't mean I can play it. My God. It's kind of like the Eagles coaching staff. Just because I know how to say that we don't play in dime doesn't mean I'm going to play in dime.
Scott McKay's he's going to be the commissioner. So it's where you and I are going to go head to head.
He's Dean Beeman. He's the PGA commissioner.
He's the PGA commissioner, and then we're going to have you and I are going head to head. But then the 4 players on each team will have a team score.
I got to look up what the name of the commissioner was in Happy Gilmore.
Hey,
that's who he is.
Hey, PT.
Yeah.
Big day in college football yesterday. And how about the baseball playoffs?
Now, here's the deal. Baseball playoffs, all I know is that the White Sox are basically on the verge of elimination. The Braves did come back and win. I did see, because my buddy works here's a funny thing. My buddy Anthony Flores works for NBC Sports Bay Area, right? So he's right up there covering the Giants games at Oracle Park or whatever they call it now. However, he grew up a Dodgers fan. So he's like on the air trying to stay neutral, but yet he's a huge Dodgers fan. So I kind of know what's going on in that series. I haven't watched a minute of the baseball playoffs.
Is that right? I did.
Not afraid to say it. I just got a funny look from somebody else in the studio. I did watch a little bit of the one and done games.
Right.
Like when the Red Sox played the Yankees for one and done
I watched some of that.
and that Cardinals game against the Dodgers. I watched that. but I haven't watched anything else because
I watched the Dodgers and the Cardinals. That game was a classic. Came down to the end.
Yeah,
and that was a great game. I just caught the tail end of it, so I caught the best part.
Yeah,
and then
it's all about timing.
I'm pulling for the Dodgers.
You are?
Yeah, I want the Dodgers. No, you don't.
I mean, I guess I'll root for.
I don't like the Giants.
How about Milwaukee?
Milwaukee.
Yeah, they got great beer. It's a fun.
I just don't want the Braves and the Giants to win. How about that?
Okay, and why the Giants?
Because of Gabe Kapler. I don't like Gabe Kapler.
The coconut oil is enough.
I mean, he's not a Philly guy.
You don't want him. You don't want him validated as another great manager that the Philadelphia sports media ran out.
He gets his first job managing the Phillies, and maybe like if you're a good manager, you learn from your mistakes. Things that didn't work in Philadelphia, the things that he said, maybe he's rethought it, right? And not made those same mistakes in San Fran. But you got to have the players, man. And they got the players.
He has Darren Ruff. Is Darren Ruff the player? I mean, I don't know about that. I think that
Rizzo, he's got the shortstop. I mean, they got players.
Rizzo.
No, not Rizzo. I mean, who they got the guy for the Cubs? You know what I'm talking about. Not Rizzo. Not Rizzo. You know what I'm talking about.
Our fearless leader. Did you notice the pens, by the way? He's floating around here. Mike Gill is in the studio.
Who'd they pick up at the deadline from the Cubs?
Dude, are you asking me like pointed questions about baseball in October?
Yeah, Chris Bryant.
Oh, that's it. Oh, yeah. Right church, wrong pew.
Yeah.
Yeah. Listen, this is the bottom line. I will root for Milwaukee in the National League. Sure. Yeah, because they're not the Dodgers and they're not the Giants and they're not the Braves. I got no beef with Milwaukee, but they have good.
How about your American League team? Who do you want to see come out of the American League?
I don't know. Tampa, maybe. Tampa. Tampa's a good choice, especially since they continue to reinvent themselves. And
how about the Astros?
What about them?
They played pretty well throughout the season. I mean, I didn't really pay attention too much to the Astros, but
looks like they're about to eliminate the White Sox. I know that. I know that there's still a huge population of fans in baseball that absolutely can't stand the Astros.
And get tipped off of what the
no. That cheating's done. Now they found a new way to cheat. Show me. That's a golf thing. Show me a cheater. I'll show you a winner.
Is your rubber wedge?
Yeah, that's a foot wedge.
Foot wedge.
Yeah,
all right,
rubber wedge.
Big day in college football yesterday.
Oh yeah, you keep trying to go back to this. This is all I know. Okay, Penn State blew it. They had a chance to win, but it's not there. I mean, the guy got hurt, right? Yep. Starting quarterback got hurt, and then we did not have a heroic
but how about the old
Cinderella
Miss game,
story.
The Ole Miss game and the Texas-Oklahoma, the Red River Showdown, as it's called now.
Was there any defense in that Texas-Oklahoma game?
They were both exciting games. I watched.
There was something I heard when I was in the car that I thought you would love. The Fox was on the field. Did you hear that call?
Fox? No.
There was a Fox on the field at the Texas-Oklahoma game.
Is that right?
And almost as good as like Kevin Harlan did when the guy was drunk. The man is drunk. He's on the field, right? There was a guy doing play-by-play who basically called play-by-play of, and there's some sort of animal on the field. It could be a cat. Maybe it's a dog. I'm not sure what it is. Now it's jumped up into the stands. The Texas fans are getting out of the way. You got to go search this on the internet. It turns out it was a fox that had basically gotten scared bleepless and was running around and then jumped up into the stands, and people were like, yow.
And then, of course, the Texas A&M Alabama game was great. I tweeted out last night, what football? I said, what game should I watch? I should have been more specific. What football game? I don't know if I put that. Because the clicker is like, it's a good thing, it's a bad thing, but you got all these games on you. Unless
you have to do what our fearless leader Mike Gill does, which is increase the number of devices that you have.
Right.
I have 2 TVs in my main room. I could put 2 channels on, but then you really need to add in 2 TVs, your phone, and maybe a tablet. And then you have 4 things going on.
When I was clicking around, you don't get to spend too much time. Like when it goes to commercial, then you go to the next game. When it goes, so yeah, at the end of the day, you're not watching it, really not watching anything.
True.
So what I did was, as soon as I saw that we had a game with Alabama and A&M, I stuck with that.
You locked in.
I locked in.
Now you know what I was watching.
You were watching Nebraska.
Absolutely. And I texted back Mike Gill and said, are you watching Nebraska and Michigan? And he wrote, no.
And that was a good game, too.
He was getting fired up for the fight.
Yeah.
Which is something we haven't even, it's 10 minutes into the show and we haven't even talked about it.
Well, I didn't watch it.
And I've seen that. He just said in the background, yeah, here it is right there. Yeah.
That fight was one of the best heavyweight fights I've ever seen in my life.
I'm so bummed now that I didn't watch it.
It was an epic fight last night. I mean, it's a shame because the answer is, oh, is that going to bring boxing back? No, of course it's not. The problem now is Fury has nobody to fight. I mean, he literally went toe-to-toe with Wilder. They went 10, 11 rounds last night. He finally knocked him out. But this is the third time he's literally whipped his rear end. There's nobody left. Who's left for to fight that guy? I mean, Wilder just has this look on his face. I mean, Wilder is this chiseled human being. I mean, the man is it's a win for the three of us here. This fat, out of shape guy just absolutely, he literally just pounds this guy who's physically way more imposing, who this is what he's dreamed to do. And this out of shape nut job.
Butterball or
butterbean?
He's not quite that
he's
big.
not that bad.
My girlfriend last night says, I can't get over the fat roll rolling over the back of his pants.
Yeah.
Over the back of his pants.
He had a piece of his belly hanging over the back of his pants.
I love that.
In terrible shape.
I love that. But he can punch.
He's just so technically better.
And he can take a punch.
But he's just, and this is where they say, it's a sport. It's a science. This guy is just technically flat out technically better than Wilder's. Wilder's a one punch guy. If he nails you with that haymaker, then he gets you. But if he doesn't have the technician. He doesn't have the ability to. And it's amazing. It was 5 knockdowns. They were going back and forth all night long.
Fourth round, he almost ended it. Right.
Wilder knocked him down twice in the. Fury went down twice in the fourth. Now, I thought both knockouts were kind of flimsy.
Okay.
I think he got hit. He was up, and then, I think his legs just kind of gave out as he was trying to. Yeah. And I don't think he got, Wilder was knocked out a couple times where you're like, he's not getting up. And he got up. I mean, it was the second
out of a Rocky movie.
The second fight, Wilder's ear was bleeding. If you remember that, it was bleeding again in this fight. I mean, this is the kind of fight that I think takes years off this guy. People like that. I think it takes that fight that takes years off your life. That one. He's
Mike. The best fight I ever saw, and I think you were there because I think I gave you guys credentials. Was the Kelly Pavlik fight in Atlantic City?
You got me credentials. You got some nerve.
No. He means he handed them out. He was the minimum wage worker that was like, "Here's your credentials, sir."
I charged Eddie a top price.
No, you didn't. Yeah. One pizza.
I thought he was saying I knew somebody.
I handed out the media credentials, and he took care of me.
That's a different statement then.
So it was Pavlik versus
can't remember it again. But I know you guys were there. Both
I was at the fight.
And
Pavlik.
That was
Phil Lockett.
Yeah. That was one.
Is that the one?
That's a middleweight fight. Those fights are back and forth. This was a heavyweight fight that looked like a middleweight fight. You got to keep.
That's the one I love. There's a romanticism with the heavyweights. You know what I mean? The big guys going at it.
He's 6'9", 277 pounds. He's fighting a 6'7" man, 240, who looked like a small man next to him. I mean, you put Fury next to Wilder, and Wilder looks like a small guy. And Wilder is just chiseled.
What time did that fight go on? What time did that fight start last night?
Oh, man. It was
after
11. I was watching the Dodgers Giants game. And then I flipped back over to the boxing. It was probably
Did you have to pay for the boxing?
Somebody did.
That's what I like to hear.
And of course, it's Eagles Sunday.
Wasn't at my house.
Okay, copy that.
Of course, it's Eagles Sunday, and we have the Eagles Carolina Panthers today. We're going to be talking with Scott Grayson on the other side.
He's already in the stream.
Get us ready for Eagles football. I like to see a win. I think the Eagles can win today.
You're not alone. I do not, but I'll give my prediction at the end.
All right. So without any further ado, let's get going. The first hour of the locker room is powered by Surety Title. Surety provides comprehensive title insurance protection and professional settlement services for home buyers, sellers, real estate agents, brokers, lenders, home builders, developers, and attorneys to facilitate your real estate purchases. Surety is an issue-wide leader with a team of experts that help you through the entire process, from contract signing to the closing of the shortest center city and every place in between. Surety Title is there for you. With 15 office locations in New Jersey and PA, that's Surety Title. For more information, call my good friend Ron Conklin at 856-988-8900. My winter watchdog. Have you heard about New Jersey's premier vacant home management service, My Winter Watchdog? You know those worrisome thoughts that creep in your mind every time you hear of a storm coming and the daunting task of driving down to the shore to check on the house. Hours of your time on the road. Let My Winter Watchdog be your eyes and ears with their 15-point inspection checklist. They offer a full menu of maintenance and improvement services. Owner Debbie McGonigal and her team of property caretakers are professional, licensed, bonded, and insured. So don't let the winter worry you. They'll give your house that lived-in look. That's My Winter Watchdog. Go to mywinterwatchdog.com or give them a call at 267-202-1869. That's 267-202-1869. Or shoot Debbie an email, Debbie@mywinterwatchdog.com. All right, when we return, we'll talk with Scott Grayson. You're listening to The Locker with Billy Schweim, Pete Thompson on 97.3 ESPN and the mobile app. All right, we're back here in the locker room. Billy Schweim, Pete Thompson, getting you ready for Eagles football. They head down to Carolina to take on the 3-1 Panthers, who are in first place in the South Division. So let's go to the Barb's Harley Davidson Sports Hotline and welcome in to the locker room, 97.3 ESPN.com, Fox 29 sports anchor, Scott Grayson. Good morning, Scott.
Good morning, Billy. Good morning, Pete. Good to see you guys again.
Oh, we're going to listen before we get started. We're going to miss you on a golf course. I heard you were a good golfer, Grayson.
I don't know who you heard that from, because whoever heard that from is lying.
They said, get Grayson. He's a good golfer. I need him on my team.
It was probably Gil who was trying to substitute you in so he didn't have to do it. You think Gil wants to spend any more time with Billy than he has to?
Well, I see he's in there today. I saw him fly by your camera.
Yeah, that was we summoned him in. The pens, there were a couple of pens that were out of place, and we had to bring him in so he could fix the pens.
All right, let's get to the business of the Eagles, Grayson, because look, we got a 1-3 Eagles team that have lost 3 in a row. We've got a 3-1 Panthers team who's only given up 16.5 points a game, very stingy, the third best defense in the league. And the Eagles are only put up 23 points a game. But I got a funny feeling, Scott, that the Eagles this is a game that the Eagles can win.
I like the way you phrase it. It is a game they can win. I would agree with that. The question is whether or not they will. And you look at the trends lately and what they've done the last couple of weeks. They've been in winnable games. The Dallas game is the only one this season that I would say was not winnable. They took themselves out of it right away. But the Chiefs game, they were right there. I mean, if they could get one stop on defense, just one that was a field goal instead of a touchdown, if they could get any of those touchdowns, the 3 of them that were called back by penalty, I mean, this team, when you look at it, is more or less beating itself right now.
That's right.
And the good news is you can fix that stuff. The bad news is you just don't know if you can fix that stuff and when you'll fix it. And I look at this coaching staff, and to me, I see 3 big issues in this game, guys, and how these questions are answered is going to determine whether or not, in my mind, the Eagles win the game. Number one, the running game. Number one, will they use it? And if they do, will they finally involve Myers? I don't know why he's in some sort of a doghouse lately, but it doesn't seem like Sirianni wants to give him some touches. And I just think that guy, I say it every week, I'm banging the drum. I put a hole in it because I'm hitting it so hard lately. Give him 20 touches. Give him 18 to 20 touches,
Scott,
please.
this has been the theme. Scott, this has been the theme with us over this is our 3rd year doing this. The last 2 previous seasons, we've been saying the same thing. You've been very consistent. Run the ball. If they had 19 rushes last week, 8 of them were from Jalen Hurts, which weren't really designated rushes. They're more like scrambles, running out of the pocket situation. So get Miles Sanders the ball more.
Yeah, and that to me is one of the things you got to do today, because you're only going to make life easier for your quarterback if you.
Oh, we lost him again. All right, we lost Grayson. So I got to say, like I said, you look at the last week's statistics. Hurts had 8 attempts for 47 yards. He led the team in rushing. Gainwell 3 attempts for 31 yards. And Sanders touched the ball 7 times, but only gained 13 yards. So I don't know. I'm not so sure that, but you're playing with a backup offensive line.
Yeah, look,
and they did a great job, Pete. I watched I broke down the film again.
Sure.
Last week I watched the game. I was there live. Of course, you know that.
Yeah,
you covered.
He's back in, by the way.
All right, there he is. Bring up Grayson now. There you are. Okay, Scotty.
So we were on number 1, which was the running game. We still have 2 and 3.
Yeah. Yeah, no, you got to give Miles Sanders more touches. You're absolutely right, Billy. And I just think you make life easier for your quarterback. You make life easier for your offensive line. I've been talking about this. As you've had these changes due to injuries, we don't know what's going on with Lane Johnson. You see all kinds of changes up there. Run blocking is easier. They just take out the guy in front of them for just a moment, let the back get through the hole, and then he's somebody else's problem. So those are the things I want to see today. Number 2 for me was obviously the defense. And I think, Nick Sirianni and Jonathan Gannon especially, his defense has been very vanilla. It's been plain. I have not seen much done to try to create plays, opportunities for your defense. And you got to do stuff. You got to make the game happen for you. You can't wait for things to happen to you. And they're just waiting for good things to happen right now. So, there was a report earlier in the week that Sirianni went to Gannon. They had a little bit of a heated exchange. I got to believe that Sirianni was saying, hey, you've got to do something here scheme-wise to at least try to make it look like you're doing something, because right now it hasn't. And I think so. This week, what you're going to see is Sirianni's been criticized for the lack of the running game. I got to believe he's going to come out this week and say, fine, you want more runs? I'll give you some more runs. Number two, Gannon has been criticized for having a very vanilla defense. I think he's going to come out and throw more of the playbook at the Panthers that we haven't seen. And number three, my number three.
Okay,
go ahead.
I just want to interject.
Jeez, let him have number three, for God's sakes. I want to hear number three.
I want to interject. I want to interject this.
What do you think? You're the host?
Yeah, right. The Eagles blitz less frequently than any team in the NFL. They only blitz 8%, 10% of the time. So I think that's what that's why I wanted to interject that, because I think that's what you're suggesting, that they got to do something to change it up. It's not working.
Yeah, you got to do something to change it up. You got to do something to help your look. In Gannon's defense, and I've said this, they are not properly talented on the defensive side in certain areas, especially at linebacker. So perhaps part of the problem is he just doesn't have enough talent over there. But I think good coaches find a way to scheme up things to make less talented players look better. Exactly. And that's what I need to see out of him now. So there's that. The third part, which is kind of tied in my mind, is, look, Fletcher Cox cannot take plays off. He cannot lack effort. And you look at where the criticism has been all week. I've hit on the 2 points already. The criticism publicly with this team through the media and out there, in the sphere, is those two topics I've talked about. And now Fletcher Cox also, he's being, knocked, and I think rightfully so, for specific plays. He's not making that motor run as high as it can. He'll lack effort a little bit here and there. He'll take some plays off. He'll be off the field in goal line situations. I don't understand some of that. So I believe that Fletcher Cox is going to put it on himself today to come out and reassume a little bit more of a prominent role on this team. Javon Hargrave's benefiting, yes, from some of what Cox is doing. It doesn't show up in the stat sheet, but I need to see a Fletcher Cox out there that we've seen in the past, not the one who's been a little bit more passive this season. So if those three things happen, I think, yes, the Eagles can win this game.
Well, we're talking with Scott Grayson from Fox 29 News. You can follow him on Twitter at @SGrayson Fox 29. Catch him on Mondays with Mike Gill in the Sports Bash for Grayson's Grades. I want to interject another thing real quick, is that watching the game, I watched the game. I was there live and watched it 2 times. Replayed it in watching the film. Fletcher Cox was double teamed several times. I had 8 that I saw, and not only that, he played tackle, he played end, he was all over the place. Maybe give him a specific role.
Yes.
We lost him again for a second there.
Saying, Pete? Give him
Listen,
a specific role.
I think you make a good point there, but the bigger point, and I think he touched on that in his second point, was about Gannon's vanilla D. That, to me, is the most troubling thing that came out this week. In the Monday press conference after the Chiefs game, Nick Sirianni said we had to have some serious conversations, some uncomfortable conversations. He said something along those lines, basically saying, I had to choose some people out.
Right.
Well, God bless him, and I love the guy. Marcus Hayes went and did a little digging, to get some background on that and figure out what those serious conversations were. And basically it came out that, Sirianni chewed out Gannon. And to me, that's the biggest red flag right now. Look, you can yell at Fletcher Cox for not being the Fletcher Cox that we signed for all the money and all the stuff. But to me, Scott Grayson, I think that's the biggest warning bell that's going off. That old Hank Stram line, what the hell's going on here, right? I mean, that's kind of like how I feel things are going with the Eagles right now, because I'm not sure they 100% know what they're doing. Scott, you're back, I think.
Yeah. Can you hear me?
Yep, Ken. Yep, go ahead.
Okay, you have me. All right, yeah. Yeah, no, I'm sorry, guys. I'm out in the boonies a little bit here at my son's baseball game. Yes, Fletcher Cox. The problem is, and there's some examples I've seen coming out here in the media that people have found, and they're right. He'll throttle down on plays. It's not like he's out there giving it his 110% when he's out there. And that's been the issue with Cox that I think you need to see. You're right. He's moving around. He's doing the things that Cox will do, which is to take up attention and make things easier for other players. Is he the biggest problem on the defense? No, absolutely not. Is he a problem on the defense? No, not every play. And so, when I call that out as one of the 3 things, I'm looking to see a guy who puts the team on his, be a leader today. Get back there and in that backfield and disrupt some stuff. That's what I want to see out of Fletcher Cox. But, you alluded to this, Pete.
He is out in the booth.
That's the thing. He's dad of the year, but it's also not the easiest place. Maybe next time when he's in the boonies, we'll tell him to call in. That could be the way to do it. Look, he's raising great points. And by the way, we've got a couple people on the live stream. Paul on the live stream says the biggest advantage matchup is Hargrave versus the right guard Miller. He thinks that's the biggest matchup. And then Tone says, hey, Billy, no Scooter today, but we got the PT in the house. So thank you, Tony, for listening. All right, Scotty, we got you back for 3 strikes and you're out. So that's the baseball phrase. Here we go. Fingers crossed.
Yeah. Yeah, I apologize, guys. I thought I was in what were we talking about?
Well, I think Billy was about to ask you your score prediction before we lose you again.
Yeah, we're gonna. So we know offensively this team is actually playing a lot better. They're putting up points, averaging 23 points a game. Jalen Hurts, his last 3 or 4 games, he looks really. Devontae Smith looks like he's worth the number, moving up and getting him at number 10. Some of the catches that he's been making, he leads the team in receptions and yards. So I think offensively they're fine if they just put the defense. If they can just stop the Carolina Panthers today, I think they can win this game. I don't know if do we lose him again? I think we lost Scott again.
What gave it away? that black window with the thing spinning in the middle of it. I told you you were talking too much, man. I said get a score prediction.
Right. Well, maybe if you could text it in or
Paul also adds on the StreamYard, by the way, too many excuses all week. The players either make plays or they don't, regardless of the schemes, the formations, the gap assignments, et cetera, et cetera. Once the ball is snapped, good players react and make plays. That's Paul on the StreamYard. I'll tell you, to react to that, Billy, yes, good players make plays, but good players also, you don't get in a car and just drive willy-nilly, right? You sort of need a roadmap. And I really am concerned when I found out this week that Jonathan Cannon doesn't, it's the emperor has no clothes. This guy doesn't know what he's doing out there.
We're going to get Grayson to call in.
Okay, that's good.
To call in and we'll get his prediction.
Sure. Okay.
And no, but listen, Pete, the Eagle. I mean, I'm excited about the offense. I think the offense with these young receivers, Quez Watkins, Jalen Reagor, and Devontae Smith, they got the 2 of the best tight ends in the league. Goddard matter of fact, Dallas Goddard ranks first among all tight ends in yards per catch at 14.5 yards per catch. So I am excited. The offensive line. Even the backups are playing well. The backups are playing well. You're talking about Andre Dillard, Landon Dickerson, right?
Yeah, no, look, I look at it like this. And Matt, by the way, on the StreamYard also says the hot take is that the Eagles win this game and get stuff going from here. But I'm not so hot that I'm going to talk about winning the division. That's Matt on the StreamYard. 609-403-0973, 609-403-0973 if you want to weigh in that way as well. Yeah, hang on. Let me answer the phone.
If you look at last week, I mean, Jalen Hurts, he was 32 of 48 for 387 yards, 2 touchdowns, no interceptions, a 105 passer rating. So look, Mahomes, I mean, he played right with Mahomes. I mean, Mahomes had a 131 passer rating, but I mean, I'm excited about Jalen Hurts.
I'm excited if Scott Grayson's on the other end of this line. Scott, are you there?
Yes, let's rely on the phone for right now.
Hey, StreamYard's a great thing, except for when you're in a different universe. It's all good. It's all good.
Yeah, I apologize, guys. I'm in Mullica Hill right now.
They had a tornado down there and knocked all the power lines.
That's true. Communications are still coming back. All right, so Scott Grayson, Billy's been waxing poetic on the fact that the Eagles can win this game. I have not given my prediction, but I do not think they're going to win this game. What say you?
You know, it's funny. I was on with a Carolina radio station midweek, and I feel this game is going to go into the fourth quarter like the Chiefs game did. This is going to remain a close game. This is going to be a game that should be entertaining to watch. Certainly, you'll get frustrated at times as an Eagles fan, but Earlier in the week, I said I think that ultimately the Eagles would probably lose by 3 or 4 points. I'm changing my mind a little bit. Again, all the criticism that's been thrown at this team this week after 3 straight losses, I got to believe you're not going to go the insanity route, which is to continue to do the same thing and expect a different result. I got to believe the Eagles are going to do some stuff differently, and they're going to benefit. I know that last I heard, McCaffrey is still he was doubtful, but I don't think you're going to have to deal with him today. I just feel like this team is going to come out and get a win. I'm feeling like the Eagles are going to stay in this game into the fourth quarter, and they're going to come out with the win. I just want to believe that this defense is going to do some different stuff. I want to give Gannon the opportunity and the benefit of the doubt to prove me right. And I want to see somebody on defense come away with making a play. If they can get back there, Darnold he leads the league in rushing touchdowns, but if he can actually get out, I think the Eagles can do a good job of trying to keep him somewhat contained and not let him beat them with his legs when they get down by the end zone. Look, I think the Eagles can win this game. I agree with you. Jalen Hurts has played much better. I like his game last week. He did a lot of great things. I like the fact that, as you mentioned earlier, Billy, Devontae Smith is heating up. Got to continue to keep him involved. You've got the top tight end pairing in the league. Continue to use it. Those guys combined for, I think, 11 receptions last week. Don't change much on offense here. Just run the ball a little more. And your defense just has to be better. You've got to also cut down on these penalties. You cannot continue to hurt yourself with the penalties. So, I think ultimately the Eagles are going to win this game, and I'm going to go with a 31-27 Eagles.
31-27 Eagles. Scott Grayson. As always, Scott, we appreciate it. Of course, you catch Grayson on Grayson's Grades with Mike Gill in the Sports Bash on every Monday. Following the Birds game, you can check him out tonight on Sports Sunday, Fox 29, Sports Anchor, and read his stuff on 97.3 ESPN.com. Thanks, Scotty.
All right, thanks, guys. Sorry about the technical problem.
No worries. We love you, bud. Take care.
There he is, Scott Grayson
All right.
on the Barb's Harley-Davidson Sports Hotline. Listen, hey, the Locker Room Blitz's Market want to discount your Eagles game day meal during the Eagles season on game day. Get an Italian hoagie for just $5 when you mention the Locker Room. Get down to Blitz's all season long at 21st and Asbury Avenue in Ocean City, New Jersey. Blitz's now is online ordering at blitzesmarkets.com or call them at 609-399-9983. Blitz's is home of the Dill Pickle Hoagie. It's really a big deal. First hour of the Locker Room is powered by Surety Title. Surety provides comprehensive title insurance protection and professional settlement services for home buyers, sellers, real estate agents, brokers, lenders, home builders, developers, and attorneys to facilitate your real estate purchases. From the shortest center city and every place in between, Surety Title is there for you. With 15 office locations in New Jersey and PA, that's Surety Title. For more information, call my good friend Ron Conklin at 856-988-8900. Friends, let me tell you about Maserati, the main line, located just minutes from downtown Philadelphia. They offer a client-focused car buying experience designed to exceed all expectations and invite you to stop and see the area's largest selection of new Maseratis, including the sporty Ghibli midsize sedan or the class-leading Levante, the only SUV worthy of being called a Maserati. Maserati, the main line, also leads the nation in certified pre-owned sales and has the highest quality like new Maseratis available on the market. Your experience is not end at the point of a sale, as Maserati, the main line, offers free pickup and delivery for scheduled service appointments and provides a new Maserati loaner car. So be audacious. Call my good friend Michael Pileggi at Maserati, the main line, at 484-804-4800. That's 484-804-4800, or visit them online anytime at motml.com. All right, when we return, we'll continue more Eagles pregame. You're listening to The Locker Room with Billy Schweim, Pete Thompson on 97.3 ESPN and the mobile app.
to perfection and was able to, basically just own the Eagles. And then last week, and I heard this in the interim, the week before we get together, right? I heard somebody say, if Andy Reid is exploiting, like he's reading and reacting during the game to your deficiencies, then you've really got a problem.
Right, exactly. And here's the thing. When I said to Grayson, Cox has been he was double teamed like I had I think 8 times.
Okay.
He was double teamed. So that means there's an area the linebackers got to fill that gap and like, when they say linebackers play downhill, right? They got their ears pinned back. They got to fill that hole and shed that initial block and get off that block and make the tackle. These guys have an inability. They can't do it. All right. Not only can Singleton not cover, he doesn't fill it. I don't think he's fast enough. They were targeted, Wilson and Singleton, and Josh has said it's not fair. But whether it's fair or not, it's the way it is. Wilson and Singleton have been targeted 35 times and allowed 30 completions for 272 yards and 4 touchdowns in their zone.
Since 2012, the Eagles have drafted only 2 linebackers as high as the 3rd round twice. Jordan Hicks in 2015. I thought Jordan Hicks was a good player. I thought Jordan Hicks was a really good player until, he broke down, right? He physically couldn't do it. And Davion Taylor last year. And the book is not written yet on Taylor. I'm not ready to just throw him out with the garbage. I don't think he's fully developed yet. But other than that, it kills me to see a guy like Micah Parsons just killing it for the Cowboys, for example.
But so let me ask you a question then, Pete. So we moved up and got Devontae Smith at 10. I'm happy with that after the way he's producing. Now, look, we obviously have a deficiency but you got to build one thing at a time.
Yeah, but
now we got a lot of draft capital, right? Cachet. Let's bolster the defense and make this a 3-year project.
So what? You're ready to tank? I mean,
there's
no such thing as rebuilding in the NFL. You have a fan base. You have people that I don't have to tell you how much the tickets are.
I would never suggest tanking. That's not what I'm saying.
You're saying you got a lot of cachet.
They have draft capital. Right, we have draft capital next year. I'm saying let's use those pieces to bolster the defense now that the offense looks set. Look, I also said Dillard, Dickerson, Herbig, and Driscoll filled in. They played fabulous. The first half, they were down 21-13. The offense was clicking. If there was 3 touchdowns that were called back in that game. And look at the untimely penalties. They could have conceivably won that game if they played a flawless game. They don't make any mistakes. I had Coy Detmer on here yesterday.
I would have no problem with
talking about how do you discipline a guy like Derek Barnett, who's constantly making costing the team.
You legitimately sit them is what you do, and I don't think they're willing to do that. I think they keep putting them in there. I'm seeing some things, and by the way, I was just playing devil's advocate. I don't mean to indicate like that I don't think that they should go defensive. I'd be fine if all 3 picks were defensive.
Right.
If they get all 3, if they have 3 first-round picks next year and they go defense on all 3 of them, I'm going to seriously hold the parade right down Tilton Road here outside the studios.
Darn tootin' you are.
Because I'll be so excited about that.
All right. First hour of the locker room was powered by Surety Title. Surety provides comprehensive title insurance protection and professional settlement services from the shore to Center City and every place in between. Surety Title is there for you at 15 office locations in New Jersey and PA. For more information, call my good friend Ron Conklin at 856-988-8900. Just about everybody in our area has heard about the Jersey Man and Philly Man magazine, run by ex-Philadelphia tight end Ken Dunnick. Were you aware of their private business network they call the Legacy Club? Every month, they hold private events at upscale locations in Philadelphia and South Jersey to attract over 200 top business people. If you have an interest in attending one of these events and see it's a fit for your business, send an email to ken@jerseymanmagazine.com or give them a call at 856-912-4007 for more information. All right, when we return, we'll wrap it up. The first hour of the locker room. You're listening to the Locker Room with Billy Schweim, Pete Thompson, 97.3 ESPN. So we're back here in the locker room with Billy Schweim, Pete Thompson, 97.3 ESPN.
Hang on. I'm gonna stop that. I think that's the end of the hour spot that was supposed to fire, because remember those spots when we hadn't gone on the air yet?
Yeah.
Remember those spots that ran, and you're like, why are they running now? Yeah. Those are the ones
They're
that we're missing. So here's what we're gonna do, right? This normally goes 56
Yeah, we go to about 56.
All right, so we're going to keep talking for
All right, and then we'll fire. Okay,
and then or 5 minutes, and then we're going to fire those spots. How do you like them apples?
And listen, that's good. Now,
dude, I'm really producing over here.
You're doing a great job. That's why you need me here.
You want me on that wall.
You need me on that wall. We use words like honor, code, loyalty. We use these words as the backbone to a life spent defending something. You use them as a punchline.
Oh my God.
I neither have the time nor the inclination to explain myself to a man that rises and sleeps under the blanket of the very freedom that I provide and then questions the manner in which I provide it. I would rather you just said thank you and on your way. Otherwise, I suggest you pick up a weapon and stand at post. Either way, I don't give a damn to what you think you are entitled to. Did you order the code red? You're gosh darn right I did. Like that,
wow,
Pete?
that was pretty good.
By the way, you sent me a clip last
I
night.
want your DOR,
you
Mayo.
want my DOR, Mayo.
Mayonnaise.
I got nowhere to go.
That's exactly how I felt about you last night. You had nowhere else to go.
By the way, you know what's a pleasant surprise? Who's been playing really well? Mr. Gainwell.
Yeah, look, I think there's been a lot of things that have been pleasant surprises. Hurts has been a surprise. Devontae Smith has been a surprise for me, and the precise route running, it only exposes. You know, I saw something this week. Did you happen to catch the indication about how they'd be willing to part with Jalen Reagor to get the guy out of the Bears?
Did not see that.
Yeah, I think it's Allen Robinson. I think the Bears are starting to the receiver. Yeah, starting to maybe move on from him.
I thought Reagor's been playing well.
I'd absolutely give him up for a more established guy, though,
yeah,
wouldn't you?
Yeah, I would.
How about this stat, by the way, since we were talking defense? The Eagles don't have a position player on the roster in his 20s that's ever been to a Pro Bowl. That's never happened before since the inception of the Pro Bowl after the 1951 season. I got to give my man Reuben Frank credit for this. This is a Rube stat. How crazy is that? Javon Hargrave, 28, so he probably is going to be a Pro Bowler this year.
By the way, he leads the Eagles with 5 sacks, and he's first in all of football defensive tackles.
Yeah, so as you sit out there and you think that Fletcher Cox isn't doing anything, Fletcher Cox is part of the reason that Javon Hargrave is being Javon Hargrave.
And how about Quez Watkins? He leads the NFL in yards per catch at 21.9 yards per catch.
Yeah, he's been outstanding too. Look, there's weapons on the team, but you're not going to win a football game if you're leading the NFL in penalties. You're not going to win a football game if you run out of bounds and then come back in and you're the first guy to touch the football and you get the touchdown call back. I mean, just these mental issues, these mental miscues, and that's part of the reason that I'm down on him for today. But again, I'll give my prediction in the second.
And Pete, yesterday we had our text board question was, will Jalen Hurts be the franchise quarterback for the Eagles of the future? That was the question yesterday.
Yeah, it's a fair question.
Because, you know, you look at the most eye-popping statistic that Hurts has. He had 2,642 all-purpose yards in his first 8 starts, which is ranks 3rd in NFL history. Behind who? Cam Newton and Patrick Mahomes.
I mean, last year the book wasn't written yet on Jalen Hurts. This year you're starting to see an idea, but do I think he's the franchise guy?
Can he be in other words,
can he be it? Like, sure. Is he?
What did we hear?
No,
what did we hear all the way to lead up to this year? We wanted to go get Deshaun Watkins, right? Watson. Yeah. You want maybe somebody in the draft next year
who can't play anywhere right now.
But what I'm saying, everybody's looking. Everybody's looking elsewhere when you got Jalen Hurts in the bird's nest. Right, for lack of a better word.
Yeah, but
right where he's in the nest.
But is he the guy that takes you to the next level?
I am super excited. Listen,
so you think he is?
Look,
so you're coming down on the side that he is.
I sure am. You know why? Because of the way his play it dictates this to me. Not the days are talking are over. He's producing, Pete.
So you find him to be an accurate enough. Like they haven't thrown a lot of deep shots. You know,
well, yes, they have.
He has decent poise in the pocket. He's obviously good with the media, but
he's good with his teammates. To be a quarterback, you have an innate ability. It's something you can't teach, leadership. And he's got it. The guys respond to him, but he makes plays. He's making plays. Pete, how could you not when they drafted him in the 2nd round? I was one of the what are they?
You were
doing?
One of the naysayers.
Yeah, absolutely.
And now you're totally on board.
Yeah, aren't you?
Well, you tacked up your Wentz jersey in the T-shirt. Now you're going to go buy a Hurts one.
Absolutely.
You're such a cheerleader. Let me get you some pom poms.
It's not, but it's cheerleading for the right reasons. He's producing on the field.
That's right. If they're your reasons, they're right, and if they're anybody else's, they're wrong.
Am I wrong?
I don't think you can make that assertion yet. That's
so you're saying it's too early.
I'd like to see, and I think that the Eagles put themselves in a position where if he's not the guy, they can go get assets or find a way to get the guy. But if he is the guy, then they can go on the defensive side.
Very encouraging last week to see 4 of the 5 starting offensive linemen out, and the backups played well. They played great.
Well, that O-line's going to be an issue again today. Hey, I think we're getting on it, so let's fire this break here. Right. I'm going to play the music, and you can do what you do.
All right. First hour is in the books. Hour 2, we're going to talk with the fantasy football guru, Brian Hartley. And Mike Gill's beat me right now. I'm going head-to-head with Mike Gill in our league, Pete.
The league that he admittedly says he doesn't care about, and he only did because
but I didn't have anybody. Just on Thursday night, he had two players. I didn't have anybody play yet. I'm 0-4 in our league, I think.
Is that right?
But I'm 2-2 in the other 2 leagues. So, all right. We got the fantasy football guru, Brian Hartley. We have Pete Thompson. We have Billy Schweim. And we have an Eagles pregame show. Eagles Carolina Panthers coming up at 1 o'clock right here on 97.3 ESPN and the mobile app. right, we are back here in the locker room with Billy Schweim, Pete Thompson on 97.3 ESPN. It's our Eagles pregame show. Take you up to 12 noon, and then you get the official Eagles
pregame to the pregame.
The pregame to the pregame, and then Mike and Merle with the call at 1 o'clock.
Of a game you think they're going to win.
Of the game I think they're going to win. And listen.
And I do not think they're going to win.
You said off the air, I asked you a direct question, and you kind of like didn't say, but off the air you said it. You don't think he's the guy, Jalen Hurts.
No, I don't think he's the guy. I have no problem saying it on the air. I don't.
What do you need? A ton of bricks to fall on your head?
No.
He's got 8 games now, and his work. I just gave you a statistic. He's only
dude, you can sit over there and read statistics till you're blue in the face. A franchise quarterback, a guy that you give a multi-year deal to, a guy you think could take you to the promised land and the Super Bowl. Isn't that the ultimate goal? You want to put the Lombardi trophy up.
Yes.
Now you're sitting across the radio board from me, and you think that Jalen Hurts
is
the guy after 8 games.
Yes.
8 stinking games.
Yep.
Now 4 of them, it was kind of like it was the good, the bad, the good, the bad. He was sort of back
forth,
thrown
into a situation
Fine.
Without any 14 offensive line combinations.
So now you only have 4 games this year to judge him on.
But Driscoll, they've got Dickerson, Driscoll, Herbig. These guys are all a year into a year in the pros, another year in the pros. And I'm telling you, that offensive line played well last week, and you can see what Jalen Hurts is able to do when you have a line that can block.
I still think he has some rookie growing pains, and I know he's not a rookie, but I still think that he tucks the ball and runs too quickly. I'm not 100% behind him being able to throw the deep ball. Yeah. I think he can throw the crossing routes, and I think he can get it to the sticks occasionally and get it for that first down. But I do not yet think that he is the franchise guy. There is a reason. There's very few quote-unquote gunslingers that are still in the NFL. There's a reason that Matthew Stafford is still playing. Tom Brady is still playing. Aaron Rodgers is still playing. These guys had a lightning bolt from God that came down and taught them to throw the football from their own 10 to the opposite 10. You know, I mean, it's just like a howitzer. And I don't know. Look, he handles the media great. I understand that he's in a tough position with a rotating offensive line. I just haven't seen enough. I'm not saying that he can't potentially be the guy, but right now, I'm not ready to endorse him and say
what
he
you need
is
in a quarterback is a guy that doesn't make mistakes, turns the ball over. And the Eagles are one of only 2 teams with two or fewer turnovers in the league.
That's great.
So
you have
the ball,
you have low turnovers, but have you led the
but
team
you don't
to
have
a
to
win
throw the
yet?
ball 70 yards in the air as long as you don't make mistakes and turn the ball over. Look, you got Quez Watkins. He leads the NFL in yards per catch at 21.
You just keep going back to these stats.
That's
I'm looking in the guy's eyes, and I'm looking at his character. I'm looking at his heart.
Got all of it.
I know he's got heart and character, but what he doesn't have yet is the proven resume of being. Has he brought the team from behind yet for a win?
No.
Has he gone out and?
But he's only been but once again, he's only had 8 starts. When that opportunity arises, I think he has every bit of a chance to do that as anybody else.
He commands the respect of the huddle. I think he commands the respect of his teammates. I just want to see a little more. I'm sorry.
I'm just saying, look, I guess what I'm trying to say to you is, and everybody else, is the fact that I was hard on him and I didn't like the pick. But I'm a fair guy, and I'm going to give credit where credit's due. I think he's played outstanding in the first 4 games this year.
His numbers have been very, very good.
And I think he's done everything that a quarterback needs to do. Like
the third most total yards, 2,462 by an NFL quarterback in their first 8 career starts.
There you go.
Now, here's what gives me pause. Of course you did. The only other 2 guys are Cam Newton and Patrick Mahomes. If I said to you, Billy, I've got a quarterback that's going to save your franchise, and you said, who is it? And I said, Mahomes. You say, where do I sign up?
All right,
if I said, Billy, let me finish. If I said, Billy, I got a quarterback that's going to save your franchise, it's Cam Newton. How do you feel about that?
Well, if you would have asked me that question after Patrick Mahomes' first 8 games, would have you been? I mean,
Patrick Mahomes came in and lit the world on fire.
But he didn't start his first year.
But when he did play, it's his first 8 career starts. It doesn't matter whether it was the first game that he was in uniform.
Newton came out of Auburn, he was a Heisman Trophy winner.
I'm trying to ask you, do you think both of those quarterbacks are on equal footing? And your face already tells me my answer.
No.
You would take Mahomes, but you don't want Newton. Therefore, it's not an exact science, and it's not 100% of which guy you would pick.
All right. I'm still very excited about what I've seen. These four, even though they're 1-3, it's not the offense's fault.
I got to stop forwarding you these Eagles press releases. You're actually believing this crap. You're drinking the Kool-Aid. You see these things and you go, "Oh God, you know what? He is good."
No, but listen, if this is Nick Sirianni and his young coaching staff's first year, all right, they've got growing pains. Listen, we were 4-11-1 last year.
Okay,
this is a rebuild, correct?
Unfortunately, yeah. I mean,
it's not a retool; it's a rebuild.
I thought it was gonna. I thought it was gonna be better. Look, they're
Pete,
1-3. You're calling the guy a franchise quarterback
Pete,
when they're 1-3.
Is there a difference between rebuild and retool?
Yeah.
What's the difference?
You are a tool, but this is a rebuild.
This team is a rebuild, not a retool.
Look, I don't like
and
that
I like
word.
the way their offense is being rebuilt. Despite the injuries on the offensive line, I'm encouraged by what I see. So now we need to straighten out the defense, and we have something here.
Okay.
That's all I'm saying. I'm excited for what I've seen from Jalen Hurts, as critical as I've been. And look, everybody, he can't throw the deep ball, his arm strength, he's this, he's that. Guess what? His statistics indicate otherwise.
I mean, good Lord. Some of this Eagles stuff they put out, it has the most 10-plus yard plays by NFL quarterbacks in 2021, weeks 1-4. And I'm scanning through these names.
All right, but I don't read. I read that, but I'm not giving you that stuff because that's immaterial to me.
No, it's also immaterial to everyone. It doesn't mean a hill of beans. It's like, hey, I got to fill this one-page sheet to send out to the press so that they say nice things about our quarterback. He's in there with Daniel Jones. You want Daniel Jones right now?
No.
Thank you very much. How about Derek Carr? Would you take Derek Carr?
Yeah.
Yeah, me too. How about Ryan Tannehill?
No.
Okay. Tom Brady?
Now?
Yeah. If you had Tom Brady lead this team,
that'd be tough.
You're almost saying yes.
Well, how can you discount the GOAT?
He is the GOAT. He's unbelievable.
Guy's unbelievable.
But
how about the Rams game on last Thursday night? That was a great game.
Yeah, I stayed up late for that one.
Yeah. Were you tired at school the next day, Pete?
Yes, very much so. That's why we let's see, what do we have there? We had CNN 10 with my man Carl Zeus.
I got
played a lot of videos.
I got a dilemma.
You do?
Yeah.
Which is?
I'm teaching now, right?
Congratulations.
Actually a permanent sub.
About time.
A permanent sub, but I'm about to be a long-term sub, so I'm gonna have my own class. Social studies.
Good.
But I've got tickets for Thursday night's game.
Aha. Well, that's not gonna affect me on the show, so fine. Go ahead, go. And you're the long-term sub. You're not the, you're still got a little asterisk.
But you go to these games, you're gonna have a few pops. And
resist the urge. Be an adult.
I'm not gonna lie. I'm not gonna keep it real. I'm not gonna get to bed till at least 1 o'clock.
Yeah, I hear you.
I hate this. If there's one thing I don't like is being not well rested.
Sure.
When you go to school,
I was well rested last night. Look
in
how
an
nice I am
academic situation.
Now, on the other, are you going to explain to me this Collingswood 13, Middle Township 7 in overtime?
I took the doobie doo to that game.
Because Collingswood is now 1-6. They were winless.
That's right.
And before you answer this is what it says. Collingswood 1-6, scored in overtime. They have Middle Township 5-1. Its first loss of the season. No other information was available. So I'm counting on you, William Schweim, to tell me the other information, keeping in mind that you understand that most of our listening audience also is down in Middle Township and might be listening from there.
Well, I'm going to say that
don't rip the Panthers.
Middle Township has a good quarterback. He has a nice arm. He missed a couple wide open receivers.
Okay.
I think if when I looked at the game from afar, because
can't you just recap the overtime?
No, because I didn't see the overtime. We left. I had the doopy doo.
Okay, here we go. With me. That's it. There we go. That's all I need to know. This is who you're getting your information from. That's it. Case closed.
You didn't ask me about the overtime. You said tell me about the Middletown Township team. They've got a good team. I thought they should have won the game. I didn't see the end of it.
I love you so much. I was gone by then.
Physically.
So there's your answer for the Chiefs game or the Tampa Bay game. Go to the Thursday night game and just pull a Schweimer and leave at halftime. Yeah. You can still have your pops and you'll be home by 11. Unbelievable.
All right. Second hour of the locker room. is brought to you by the Great Bay Country Club, where it's not just golf, it's fun. By the way, I'm going to kick your butt.
In?
Golf.
Oh, yeah.
At the Great Bay Country Club.
I thought you were
Thursday,
advocating violence.
Saturday, October 30th, you and I have the locker room challenge.
Yes.
Pete Thompson against Billy Schweim head-to-head.
Is that the first time you've used the name?
Great Bay Country Club.
The locker room challenge?
The locker room challenge.
Okay. We're gonna
Make Great Bay Country Club your club. Great Bay is an award-winning private golf club where you are greeted by name. It's home of the 3-hour and 58-minute round. You can play on their 18-hole championship golf course, enjoy fine dining experience, lively atmosphere in the pub. There's a full calendar of golf and social events throughout the season to appeal to everyone. For more information on how to become a member, go to greatbay.com or give them a call at 609-927-5071. Great Bay Country Club in Summers Point, New Jersey. See why it's always a great day at Great Bay. And, of course, Radio Ron Ralston's down there. Kevin Kelly, they do a great – Ryan's down there. They do a great job at the Great Bay Country Club. Hey, My Winter Watchdog. Have you heard of New Jersey's premier vacant home management service, My Winter Watchdog? You know those worrisome thoughts that creep in your mind every time you hear of a storm coming and the daunting task of driving down to the shore to check on the house, hours of time on the road? Let My Winter Watchdog be your eyes and ears with their 15-point inspection checklist. They offer a full menu of maintenance and improvement services. Owner Debbie McGonigal and her team of property caretakers are professional, licensed, bonded, and insured. So don't let the winter worry you. They'll give you your house that lived-in look. That's My Winter Watchdog. Go to mywinterwatchdog.com or give them a call at 267-202-1869. That's 267-202-1869. And send Debbie an email, Debbie@mywinterwatchdog.com. All right, when we return, we'll talk with the fantasy football guru, Brian Hartley. You're listening to The Locker Room with Billy Schweim, Pete Thompson on 97.3 ESPN and the mobile app. All right, we're back here in the locker room. Billy Schweim, Pete Thompson, Eagles Sunday, Eagles, Carolina Panthers, right here on 97.3 ESPN. Mike and Merle with the call at 1 o'clock. Every Sunday at this time, we go to our fantasy football guru, Brian Hartley, brought to you by Stell Exteriors. They've been providing professional roofing and siding at affordable prices since 1996. Did you know that only 2% of roofing contractors qualify as a GAF Master Elite Installer? So if you do the math, choosing Stell Exteriors takes 98% of the worry out. That's Stell Exteriors, 636 West Avenue in Ocean City, New Jersey. Give them a call at 609-399-1010. That's 609-399-1010. Let's go to the Barb's Harley-Davidson Sports Hotline and welcome into the locker room my fantasy football guru and yours, Brian Hartley. Good morning, Guru.
Billy, you got to stop going to the games, man. You're killing us.
I got to tell you.
Bad luck. Don't go on Thursday, Billy.
I will be there on Thursday night.
I might sit it out then. It's not worth it if you're going. It's already going to be
I was going to tell you that I'm not superstitious, but I am. Because if we're on the live stream today on Twitter and YouTube, you can see I have my old Eagles shirt. This shirt has been around since the Eagles, before Andy Reid. It still fits. Before Andy Reid. So this is a good luck. This is a good luck Eagles. I wore this shirt all the way up until they won the Super Bowl, and then I retired and got a new one.
So you dug it
out.
So
I had to dig this one out because I had to get rid of my Wentz jersey. It's hung up on the wall over here.
Yeah.
Not jersey, T-shirt. Now I put the old one on because I am a little superstitious because they're going to win today, Brian.
I certainly hope so. You know, we need it big time. This is definitely a winnable game. We got another tough one coming up next week on Thursday night. So we got to get this one. Otherwise, we're in real trouble. That's for sure.
All right, fantasy football guru. I'm in 3 leagues. Of course, I'm in one with you. I'm 2-2 in 2 leagues, and I'm 0-4 in 1. I've suffered a couple injuries. Obviously, Christian McCaffrey is one notable injury, but Mike, it's so funny because sometimes one week you put up a ton of points, and then the next week you don't. And you have, your starting lineups. Sometimes they produce and sometimes they don't. It's the ups and downs of fantasy football.
It certainly is. It's not easy when you're looking at the lineups, and today there's some weather in some places. It's going to be a little bit of an issue. So, it's kind of hard. There's a lot of guys nicked up this week, especially at the running back position. A lot of guys that are questionable, and you really have to wonder, even though most of them seem like they are going to suit up and play. You have to wonder how much does it take if they re-injure it, if they go out earlier in the game. Do you make a call and you play somebody else instead? But you could get burned by that as well. So it's not easy. And then we're coming up on bye weeks in the next couple of weeks, which is going to be more difficult as well, especially with those injuries. It really thins out the rosters and makes it tough. And that's when the waiver wire really picks up.
So if you make a critical mistake now as the season, when you get to the byes and you forget to, like some people I know forget to edit their lineup before the start of the.
And I still won.
But you make a mistake, that could be the difference between winning and losing.
Yeah, absolutely. I'm kind of up against that this week. I was torn between whether I go with Matthew Stafford or Dak Prescott this week. I chose Stafford, and you watch that game. He had a lot of opportunities to throw touchdowns, and he just didn't get the ball in the end zone. He gets picked off the one time. They get down there on some of the big plays, and he doesn't get the points. The running backs do. So it's frustrating. And now I'm sitting there thinking, man, I really probably should have played Prescott this week. But it is what it is, and I just got to hope some of my other guys carry me through to victory this week.
All right, so it's week 5 of the NFL, Guru. Give us your picks for week 5.
Pretty crazy. We are at week 5 already. At quarterback this week, I like Kirk Cousins going against Detroit's soft defense. I actually like Daniel Jones playing from behind today against the Dallas Cowboys. And I'm going to go with Trey Lance going against Arizona. I think he's going to have a nice game. Arizona, the only undefeated team left in the NFL, and I think they're going to have to score to keep up, although the injury to Kerry Kittle is a big one for San Francisco. At running back, Damian Harris going against the terrible Houston Texans. Chase Edmonds, as long as he plays, I like him today going against San Francisco. And Damian Williams, the ex-Kansas City running back, filling in today, going against the Las Vegas Raiders. At wide receiver, Corey Davis against Atlanta. Hunter Renfrow going against the Chicago Bears. I like Marquise Brown against Indianapolis today. And I like the tight end Dawson Knox going against Kansas City. I think that game is going to have a lot of points. The only issue with that game could be weather-related. There could be a lot of rain there, so we're going to have to keep an eye on that. but he has scored 4 touchdowns in the last 3 weeks, and he's generally not a tight end that was taken in a lot of leagues early on, but has been picked up in quite a few leagues over the last few weeks and has been paying big dividends. So those are my picks for week 5 of the NFL season.
All right, now, Guru, I picked Dallas Goddard. He's ranked first among all tight ends in yards per catch, but his scoring production isn't. He only has, I think, 1 touchdown. So in these PP leagues, you need points, not just yards, right?
Yeah, so it depends really on the league that you're in. If you're in a league like you and I are in, where you have to have a tight end, Goddard's not a bad pick. He's still getting catches. He's not getting the end zone, but he's getting you catches and yards. Other leagues, there's really no big difference. If you got a chance you could play a wide receiver, you don't necessarily have to have a tight end in your lineup. And that really limits it to your, big tight ends of a Kerry Kittle, a Travis Kelce, those type guys that are really ones that put up big fantasy points. So, if you have him in our ESPN league, then that's a great thing, and he's a good pick.
All right, Guru, it's the 1-3 Eagles today against the 3-1 Carolina Panthers. Carolina only relinquishes 16.5 points per game. Their defense is tough, but I don't know if you heard this segment before, but I'm really impressed with our Jalen Hurts, and I'm thinking that this guy is poised to be our franchise quarterback.
Yeah, I think you've been hitting the sauce or something, Billy. I'm not sure what's going on, man. I mean, I listened to that, and I wonder, what are you doing, Billy? What is going on in that head of yours? You've been hanging out with your daughter too much. The Disney has softened your brain a little bit.
No, on the contrary.
Yeah, I don't know that you'd find too many people that are of that same opinion out here.
They're not as smart as I am.
Yeah. Carolina's defense, they haven't played the greatest amount of teams. They've played the Jets, the Saints, who came off a nice first week, but then laid an egg. Houston Texans not really putting up any points, and then they lost last week to Dallas. So, it's a good matchup for the Eagles. They need to win this game. It's a very winnable game. They're on the road. Hurts could put up big numbers. He put up some big numbers last week. But the bottom line is they're still not running the ball. They need to commit to the run more. They have Miles Sanders. They have Gainwell. They need to start running the ball. It can't be Jalen Hurts leading the team with rushes and throwing the ball all the time, because that is not going to be a recipe for, a winning season. So I don't know what these Eagles are doing, what the coaching staff's got in store for today. I'm curious to see, but we need a more commitment out of the running game.
All right, what's your prediction for the score today?
I am taking the Birds today. I'm going Philadelphia Eagles 23, Carolina Panthers 17.
Wow, very good, Guru. Now, see, here's the thing.
Because he picked the Eagles, that's why it's
That's
good.
right, Guru. So you guys think I'm drinking the Kool-Aid, but if he comes out and has a really good game today and they win this game, am I going to be vindicated, or are you guys going to still say, well, it's still too early, wait and see? The guy's produced these 4 games. It's not his fault that they're 1-3. Their Eagles defense absolutely stinks. Their linebackers are non-existent, and little play Slay, even though he didn't really, a lot of
play Slay.
He hasn't made any big plays, but he hasn't been burnt. I mean, but their defense overall.
I'm not going to disagree with you on the defense, Billy. That is what it is, and he, obviously it's like fantasy football. You can't play defense,
right?
He's putting up numbers. He's got 7 touchdowns, only 2 interceptions, and a little over 1,100 yards, but they're not balanced. And, when you're relying on him to run the ball and with that beat up offensive line, it's only a matter of time. If you continue with the way that they're structuring it, he's going to get hurt. And then where are we?
Well,
so
I tell you what, he's not like Michael Vick, and he's not like even Carson Wentz would try to extend the play. I've seen Jalen Hurts slide when he's supposed to and get out of bounds and not take the hit. I'm telling you, this kid's savvy. You guys are going to be singing my praises.
Whoa, that's never going to happen.
That's going to happen. Mark my words.
We'll eat some crow if we're wrong, but we're never going to sing your praises.
As long as you eat the crow.
I would love to be proven wrong. I just don't see it out there. But, hey, crazier things have happened, and, we got a long way to go. It's a long season. We still got a lot of games left to play, and, a lot of things can happen. But, hey, at times he's exciting. For a fantasy perspective, he's putting up great numbers if you're using for fantasy football. But is he a guy to lead your franchise for the next 10, 15 years? That's still yet to be seen.
All right, Guru, as always, we appreciate your picks and your insight, and I like your score today. And we'll talk. Well, I guess I'll see you on Thursday. Is that correct?
I will be there. I will stop over and see you and try to wipe off some of that bad voodoo doll stuff there.
All right, there he is, our fantasy football guru, Brian Hartley. Thanks, Brian.
Have a great day, guys.
Fantasy football guru Brian Hartley is brought to you by Stell Exteriors. They've been providing professional roofing and siding at affordable prices since 1996. Did you know that only 2% of roofing contractors qualify as a GAF Master Elite installer? So if you do the math, choosing Stell Exteriors takes 98% of the worry out. That's Stell Exteriors, 636 West Avenue in Ocean City, New Jersey. Give them a call at 609-399-1010. That's 609-399-1010. Hey, the Locker Room and Blitz's Market want to discount your Eagles Gameday meal. During the Eagles season on game day, get an Italian hoagie for just $5 when you mention the Locker Room. Get down there and say hi to Dave and Joan. Go in and say the Locker Room sent me. Get the Blitz's Market all season long at 21st and Asbury Avenue in Ocean City. Blitz's now is online ordering at blitzesmarkets.com or give them a call at 609-399-9983. Blitz's is home of the dill pickle hoagie. Hey, it's really a big deal. The second hour of the Locker Room.
I love that you laugh at your own jokes. Did you notice that I killed the music? In other words, by kill, I nailed it.
Right.
I had that music perfect.
Perfect.
Like a real producer.
You are a real producer.
I'm working on it.
All
Listen, a real producer would tell you that John Clark 6 minutes ago tweeted out a video of Andre Dillard warming up in the left tackle stance, Jordan Mailata warming up playing right tackle, and Jack Driscoll lining up at right guard. So that's what your line's going to look like. Obviously, Kelsey, as he continues his streak,
by the way,
will be right in the middle.
All right, the second hour of the Locker Room is brought to you by the Great Bay Country Club, where it's not just golf, it's fun. Make Great Bay Country Club your club. Great Bay is an award-winning private golf club where you are greeted by name. It's home to the 3-hour, 58-minute round. You can play on their 18-hole championship golf course. Enjoy fine dining, experience a lively atmosphere in the pub. There is a full calendar of golf and social events throughout the season to appeal to everyone. For more information, go to greatbay.com or give them a call at 609-927-5071. Great Bay Country Club in Summers Point, New Jersey. See why it's always a great day at Great Bay. Friends, let me tell you about Maserati, the main line, located just minutes from downtown Philadelphia. They offer a client-focused car buying experience designed to exceed all expectations. They invite you to stop and see the area's largest selection of new Maseratis, including the sporty Ghibli midsize sedan or the class-leading Levante, the only SUV worthy of being called a Maserati. Maserati, the main line, also leads the nation in certified pre-owned sales and has the highest quality like-new Maserati available on the market. Your experience is not at the point of a sale, as Maserati, the main line, offers free pickup and delivery for scheduled service appointments and provides a new Maserati loaner car. So be audacious. Call my good friend Michael Pileggi at Maserati, the main line, at 484-804-4800. That's 484-804-4800, or visit them online anytime at motml.com. All right, when we return, we'll continue with more here. We'll have the injury report and more. You're listening to the Eagles pregame show right here with Billy Schweim, Pete Thompson on 97.3 ESPN and the mobile app. All right, we're back here in the locker room. Billy Schweim, Pete Thompson, the Inactives came out. What do you got? What
Yeah, 11:30, usually 90 minutes before kickoff they come out. For the Eagles, not a lot of surprises there. Minshew, McCain, Johnson, Anderson, and then Tui Pulotu, number 95. He's been active a lot. I'm trying to see if the Carolina inactives are out as well, because I want to see what.
You also said John Clark posted a video of Malata at the right tackle.
Yeah, John Clark put that out. I mean, that was something that actually Derek Gunn had talked about too. Here's the Panthers inactives. Christian McCaffrey is officially inactive.
Nice.
Okay, so no Christian McCaffrey, no Shaq Thompson, no relation, no Cameron Irving. So those are really the top three of those guys on Carolina. Shi Smith is inactive, Phil Hoskins, Rashawn Melvin, and Daryl Johnson. Not Johnston, because that would be Moose Johnston, Daryl Johnson, the defensive end. But Christian McCaffrey, CMC officially now out against the Eagles. So perhaps that gives him a little bit more of a chance. So what you're saying is,
well,
there's a chance.
The Eagles are 3-point underdogs. The standard 3 on the road.
Yeah.
I think the Guru made an observation that I agree with.
Marlon Tuapulutu or whatever. Yeah, good old Marlon, sure.
The Carolina Panthers played the Saints.
Okay.
They played the Cowboys and lost.
Right.
I mean, I know they're only averaging.
So you're leading up here, I think, to the fact that the Carolina Panthers are a paper 3-1. That they're not as good as we think they are.
Right.
I still think they're a better coach
and I don't
football
think the
team
Eagles
than
are
the
as
Eagles
bad as
right
1
now.
and 3 indicates.
I would agree with that too. I mean, I feel like, look, I feel the penalties are killing me. They're killing them, and they have to be more disciplined. The one thing we didn't talk about, because you were really going with Grayson, we had our issues going back and forth that you and I haven't discussed, is a wounded team, an angry team, a pissed off team. To me, is a dangerous team to play. And I think the Eagles are pissed off. I think they're very much seeing now that they're not getting respect around the league, that they're not where they want to be. And I think finally, maybe this is now, again, I'm picking them to lose.
Right.
But you should say thank you.
I should say thank you?
Yeah. If I pick them to lose, then the exact opposite's going to happen.
Oh, then thank you.
You're welcome.
Pete.
Clark had another video, by the way.
And I got to say this, too. The Eagles are right where we thought they'd be, too. I mean, we thought.
You're going to come up with they are what we thought they were.
No, I'm not going to.
You play to win the game.
After 4 games, I had them at 1 and 3.
Right. Well, I didn't look. My problem is, no, I actually thought that they were going to win. I thought they had a chance to win in the second week. I thought I'm saying
before the season even started, when you go down the line, pick them, not as once the season started.
Right.
Because they should have beaten the 49ers, and they should have beaten the Chiefs. Remember, 3 touchdowns were called back.
Yeah, but that's the discipline thing, that's the discipline thing to me that ticks me off so much. And I'm really scared about the fact that this Gannon story, I'm buying into this big time, especially because of the guy that dug it up, and that's Marcus Hayes, who knew the right people to ask and to sort of sniff around a little bit and figure out, like, is there a problem? And I think there is.
You think there's a problem between Sirianni and Gannon?
Yes. Yes.
By the way, Gannon was on everybody's radar.
And well, that's the thing.
He was the popular.
That's the thing that scares me the most. I mean, just remember, the NFL isn't an exact science, and it isn't a league where, one person's trash is another person's treasure. Remember that everybody, when they wanted Adam Gase, right? But it's Doug Peterson. Doug Peterson was the last guy they wanted to be their coach, and they brought in Doug Peterson, but also the talent level and the people that they got led them to a Super Bowl and led them to that victory. Okay, I look at it like this. I mean, I understand there's going to be growing pains, but I also understand that you can't win in the NFL if you don't have a plan. And I don't know that Jonathan Gannon has a plan.
It doesn't look like that. We keep hearing about the identity of this team.
Weren't you bringing up Opeta to me for some reason?
Yeah, why'd I bring up Opeta?
Because the Eagles elevated tackle LaRaven Clark from the practice squad to the active roster as a COVID-19 replacement. I think you were remembering that Opeta is on the protocol.
Yeah, because I did see something.
Yeah.
But here's the thing, Pete. The Philadelphia Eagles are a team that's trending up, even though their defense is god awful, and they just don't have. How many coaches and players have we talked to said at the end it's the players. They got to go out and make plays, and the coach has to put them in a good position so to be successful. But with that being said, they still got to go out and perform.
Yeah, and I think that, they're weak at linebacker. I think that's not a surprise to anybody out there. And I think the fact that they've ignored the linebacker position over and over and over again and repeatedly, I also think they miss a guy like Malcolm Jenkins. Malcolm Jenkins kind of was just a back-end guy that sort of covered up a lot of mistakes and made everybody around him better. And that's a guy that's, obviously no longer around, and I think they're suffering for it.
So, Pete, here's my game notes.
Oh, my gosh.
You can't see
yeah, well, it's handwritten.
Three different times. Singleton slow. Singleton can't shed a block. Singleton can't fill the gap. Singleton can't cover. You know how many times I've seen them go to fill in? He's taking the wrong pursuit angle.
Singleton.
Yes.
Yeah.
And even Wilson.
Yeah. Well, look, I mean that and then the draft pick, we don't know if the draft pick's going to turn into something yet or not. I think it's still too early to tell. But that to me is the biggest thing that well, in the secondary too. I mean, do you remember the good old days when you had Lito Shepard and Sheldon Brown, right? And they made all the plays, yes. Right? I mean, those if you want to go old school and you want to go romantic, look,
Troy Vincent,
right? I mean, but that was when the defense, you had every level of the defense. For the last couple of years under Jim Schwartz, they didn't blitz. They just relied on straight pressure and that sticks defense. But it is
they had that good rotation on the defensive line.
Sure, like the NASCAR thing. You had 4 guys in, then you could throw another 4 in that were just as good as the last 4. I don't know that they have that either. I mean, look, I'm not optimistic about today, but I hope I'm wrong.
I think you're wrong.
Okay.
And then with that being said, the second hour of the locker room is brought to you by the Great Bay Country Club, where it's not just golf, it's fun. Make Great Bay Country Club your club. Great Bay is an award-winning private golf club where you are greeted by name. It's home of the 3-hour, 58-minute round. You can play on their 18-hole championship golf course. Enjoy fine dining experience lively atmosphere in the pub. That soup their soups are unbelievable.
At Great Bay?
Yeah.
Oh, yeah.
I mean, their food is delicious.
Look, the wait staff is outstanding, too. I'm a big fan of everybody that's down there.
We're going to be there on the 30th of October. We're going to be broadcasting live from the Great Bay Country Club. And then,
are we calling it the Locker Room Open, or what are we calling it?
Locker Room Challenge?
Locker Room Challenge?
It's up to you. McKay's the commissioner, but here's one thing I do know. You're going down.
We'll see about that. Put your money where your mouth is.
Are you a better putter or driver?
I'm a much better putter. I'm a much better chipper and putter than I am a driver.
So your short game, you have a good short game.
Well, you drive for dough, you drive for show, and you putt for dough. And I can get the ball into the hole when I get close.
Okay.
Now, how did you make a 9? I 1-putted. There you go. That could be the problem. That's the problem. It's the other 8 strokes until I get on the green.
That course is in magnificent shape.
Oh, it's outstanding.
They do a great job down there.
Greens are fair. I'm looking forward to it.
I am really looking forward to this.
Yep.
All right.
Taking you down.
For more information, go to greatbay.com or give them a call at 609-927-5071. Great Bay Country Club in Summers Point, New Jersey. See why it's always a great day at Great Bay. Just about everybody in our area has heard about the Jersey Man and Philly Man magazine, run by ex-Philadelphia tight end Ken Dunick. But were you aware of their private business network they call the Legacy Club? Every month, they hold private events at upscale locations in Philadelphia and South Jersey to attract over 200 top business people. If you have an interest in attending one of these events that seems a fit for your business, send an email to ken@jerseymanmagazine.com or give him a call at 856-912-4007 for more information. Want to remind people, get down to Blitz's. They're going to discount your Eagles game day meal during the Eagles season. On game day, get an Italian hoagie for just $5 when you mention the locker room. Get down to Blitz's Market. They got online ordering at blitzesmarkets.com or give them a call at 609-399-9983. Blitz's is home of the dill pickle hoagie. It's really a big deal. When we return, we'll wrap it up. We'll give our picks, and we'll get you ready for Eagles football. You're listening to The Locker Room with Billy Schweim, Pete Thompson on 97.3 ESPN and the mobile app. All right, we're back here in the locker room. Billy Schweim, Pete Thompson. What's funny, Pete?
You don't even notice that?
Nah.
We were all the way through that break. You're asking me different stupid questions. And we're like, I'm looking over at the clock and there's 5 seconds left. And I realize I have no police music queued up. So I was like, let me just replay this one and see if Billy notices.
Yeah, you're getting comfortable in that chair over there. You're doing pretty good.
Comfortable. Yeah. I hit the post. I got it going.
Pete, it's time for your prediction.
All right, here's my prediction. First of all, a guy whose opinion I trust has up on Twitter saying that the Panthers are shifting their best offensive lineman, Taylor Morton, from right tackle to left tackle, and rookie Brady Christensen will start at right tackle. And that's the move that the Panthers are making because Cam Irving, no relation to Julius, is missing the game. Okay, so that's the Panthers move. So you got moves on the Eagles side of the football, you got moves on the Panthers side of the football. And of course, the biggest news, if you haven't heard, Christian McCaffrey out. CMC will not play in this game. That said, I do not believe the Eagles win this football game.
And why is that, Pete?
I think that there's some sort of penalty issue that will bite them in the butt again. I believe there's some sort of false start. I believe there's some sort of sack. I believe there's something that I cannot foresee that will hurt the Eagles, and I have Carolina winning 28-14.
28-14.
I hope I'm wrong. In fact, I really hope I'm wrong.
I think you're wrong.
But
and I'm going to tell you why you're wrong.
I've picked the Eagles to win. I didn't pick them to beat the Chiefs, but I picked them to beat Dallas, and I could have been more wrong about that.
I picked them to lose against the Chiefs. I picked them to lose against Dallas.
Paul says he had the Eagles at 2-5 and finishing 6-10-1 with a tie versus the Lions. Is Paul
tie like Scotty McKay?
Paul and Scotty McKay, are they best buds?
All right, let me give you my prediction. I'm going to tell you why.
All right.
The Carolina Panthers have yielded 16.5 points per game. The Guru established that the first 4 games on their roster haven't been all that tough, with the exception of the Cowboys. They are a little bit banged up. I think the Eagles' offense is firing on all cylinders, despite the fact that their offensive line is backups. They do get Jordan Mailata back. I think that's big. You have the offensive line as Dillard at left tackle, Mailata at right tackle, Landon Dickerson at left guard, Driscoll at right guard.
This was a funny way to do it. You could have just gone left to right. I like your brain has to go back and forth.
Back and forth. And then, of course, Kelsey, the all-pro.
Right.
In the center.
Right in the middle.
Okay.
Okay.
I think these guys,
they played pretty good.
Grayson
like
Grayson stated, they need to run the ball, need to be a more balanced attack. The Eagles, on the other hand, scored 23 points per game. Okay.
23.5.
It's 23.5.
Tied for 17th in the league.
Jalen Hurts is playing really well. He protects the ball, doesn't turn it over. Okay. And if they can continue to protect the ball and cut down on their penalties, I think the Eagles win this game today 24-20.
24-20, says Billy.
Eagles 24-20.
Now, wait a second. Are you waffling?
What do you mean?
Off the air, you told me 24-21 in the first hour.
Well, it's not a big waffle. It's a
point.
It's a point.
Well, this is important.
Because the spread's 3.
So what are you picking?
I picked the Eagles to win 24-20.
Okay, so why did you say 21 in the first hour and now you're saying 20?
I don't know. I don't know. It's 1 point, Pete. I think they win 24-20.
All right. Okay.
I think Sam Darnold, his passer rating is
have a pick and stick with it there, Wiffle Waffle. I mean, come on.
Sam Darnold's passer rating is 95.6 or something.
All right. Sounds like an FM radio station.
Who would you rather have as quarterback, Jalen Hurts or Sam Darnold?
Oh, Jalen Hurts right now, but that's not.
Well,
where's
right
that question
now? I mean,
coming from?
Right, yeah. If you had to start your team today and you had to pick between Sam Darnold and Jalen Hurts, who'd you pick?
Yeah, Jalen Hurts. Okay. But I mean, what's the score in that game?
Without Christian McCaffrey, I think the Eagles. I think the Panthers' offense will be a little limited with what they do.
Falcons look like they finally found somebody they can beat.
The Jets.
Yeah, Jets, Jets.
So if Jalen Hurts can, remember Devontae Smith last week had 7 catches for 122 yards with an average catch of 17 yards. Even Gainwell out of the backfield was explosive. Miles Sanders, if he can, get maybe 15 to 18, 19 touches.
Don't you see the parallels in this team between the Phillies when they won the World Series and tried to just hang on a little bit too long to some of those guys, and the Eagles after they won the Super Bowl? I mean, their best players were in their prime in 2017, and now every one of those guys are aged and older.
Well, we only have a handful of players from that team.
I know.
And Brandon Graham's now out.
Sure.
So you got Brandon Brooks, you got Lane Johnson, you have Fletcher Cox. That's it.
I mean, but they colossally
and Zach Ertz.
They colossally went wrong with the quarterback choice. And they're paying for it now.
Thank God like I said, I wasn't in love with the pick.
You think that they cut their losses at the right time?
I think don't you?
I guess.
Look at Wentz.
Yeah, no, I'm looking at it.
I mean, look at Wentz. Look at the whole situation.
I know how you feel about him. You want him to play just well enough to get the number 1 pick.
Absolutely.
Just get in there. Get in there and take your whooping.
Get that 70. What's he got to play?
That's 70, that old Sports Center promo. Steiner, come here and get your whooping.
75% of the snaps plays.
Just play 75% of the snaps on a stinky team. That is correct.
Right. And look, and not only that, the Colts are horrible.
You're not upset, by the way, that Gannon won't play dime defense ever, that he's not going to put it.
I just want to see him dial up some blitzes today.
Okay.
Force Darnold to make mistakes. Remember.
Well, we already figured out where you should blitz over. Blitz right over top Brady Christensen. He's the rookie.
There you go.
There's your soft spot. Go right in that hole.
Look, and if the rumors of Gannon and Sirianni having a heated exchange, maybe that's the right thing. Maybe Sirianni, splits a spark under Gannon and makes him open his eyes and be a little bit more creative and put these guys in better positions, because our linebackers of Wilson, TJ Edwards, and Singleton.
You watch. We've been ripping the linebackers all day today.
I want them to play well, but I don't see it.
Have a good game today.
I don't see it. How about that, Pete?
How about that,
2
Billy?
hours in the books.
Yep. Another fun show.
All right. So real quick, Grayson's got the Eagles winning 31-27. Guru has the Eagles 23-17. You have them losing at 28-14.
That is correct.
I have them winning 24-20. McKay has them tying.
Good luck, Scooter. We're all counting on you.
All right. Great show today, Pete.
Thanks, buddy.
Let's go Eagles.
Thanks to everybody on the StreamYard, Paul and Tony and Jeff Bone and Pookie and all the people that messaged on the StreamYard.
Thanks to Scott Grayson. And, of course, you can catch up tomorrow with Mike Gill, the Sports Bash for Grayson's Grades. Thanks for the Guru Brian Hartley. Thanks for making the locker room part of your Sunday, because nothing could be finer than talking sports with the Schweiner. Stay tuned for the Eagles official pregame show, and then Eagles football with Merrill and Mike at 1 o'clock. I'll see you next week, everybody. Let's go Birds.